Okay, so let's go ahead and take Eric, he, him from New Hampshire, who wants to make a case for the existence of God. Hello, Eric. How are you doing?
Perfect. Hi, Eric.
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
Good, thank you.
Good. Is the audio coming in clear?
Yes, yes, absolutely. We can hear you.
Right.
You want to make a case for God, right?
Awesome.
Okay.
So before I begin, the core belief of mine is that I don't feel that it's right to disabuse the unwilling. So are you, like, if you're willing to hear it, I'll go forward. Like if you heard it,
we literally have a call-in show where we asked people to do this.
I made the decision to take your call.
I'm just making sure. Okay.
Yeah, no, I made a decision to take your call, and Shannon said that she really wants to hear this. So
yeah,
let's do that.
All right, cool. All right, so I wrote down some notes just to keep my thoughts clear. So just from the top, my name is Eric. I am a theonaut, and what that is an explorer of the divine. I've found through my experience of constantly probing the natural world that God exists and is the foundation of all reality. Well, what is God? I see God as the unifying principle that guides all of reality. I see spirituality as really the process of knowing the unknowable. And what is knowing or knowledge? Well, that's actually another word we like to call science. So wait, why call this spirituality when we can call this the scientific method? Well, the scientific method tests what is observable, and the spiritual method tests the unobservable. We can look at the core properties of God, the Almighty God, omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent. And, well, this is exactly describing the unifying principle, the underlying permeating facts of existence that is the source of all that emanates from this principle. We see signatures or thumbprints of this principle, such as phi, which is easily recognized in the Nautilus shell. So in reality, I am a scientist seeking the unifying principle to all of reality. Call that the omniverse, if you will, or the superset of all multiverses, which is the superset of all universes. So another way of saying God is perhaps the superset of all reality.
Okay, we're gonna stop you right there because that was a lot, and we need to kind of start addressing things. So
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
The first thing that I would start with is that it seems to me that your definitions of God are kind of inconsistent internally. So you've defined God as essentially the underlying principle of everything, but then also defined God as the omni. So omnipresent, omniscient, and omnibenevolent, I'm presuming, are the omnis, if I remember correctly. So that would mean that this God existed outside of extant reality also, right? So are you suggesting that this God exists both within reality as we're able to perceive it and also outside of it?
Yes, the formed and the formless.
Okay, so this God exists outside of reality and also simultaneously exists inside of reality. Did this God exist before the current instantiation of the universe?
I would say it's probably more simultaneous.
What do you mean by simultaneous?
I don't know if I don't know if I really have, when you get to that point of time, if you can even really say that, there's no construct of time. So how do you even say beginning?
So you're holding umbrage with the word before there, right?
Certainly.
Okay. So do you believe that this God existed and the universe didn't? Do you think that there was ever, I can't use the word time here because obviously it's what you're holding umbrage with, but do you think that this God existed ever and the universe didn't?
I guess not.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to
So you think that they kind of
conceptualize
popped into existence simultaneously? So the universe popped into existence and God along with it?
I suppose that the universe would have to be layered on top of a unifying principle. So I suppose from that, this, you know, God would be preceding the universe.
So the universe is created. It's a product of this by this God, right?
I mean, I guess you can say created as the same way, like an apple falls from a tree and gravity makes it do it.
So you think that this God that has, this is where I see the contradiction kind of in what you're saying, that I don't know if it's a contradiction, but it's something that I find incoherent, is that you're saying that this God is omnipresent, omnibenevolent, and, you know, omniscient, but also only exists within the confines of this universe and came into existence simultaneously as a property of the universe. So you're defining God as a property of the universe, right?
No, I guess I misspoke there. I would say that it's, while it's inherent as you can see the signature of this, or like, you know, a thumbprint or an echo of this property or principle in the universe, I suppose it's not technically within it.
So it's not within the universe. It exists outside of the universe? These shouldn't be frustrating questions.
It's the semantics of it. The phrasing outside is even.
So the God, I'm trying to even understand your definition of a God at all.
So, like, essentially, it's a unifying laws of physics.
So God is physics?
But, you know, then it's.
So God is just physics? It's just the way to describe how material interacts?
I would say that's pretty accurate, actually.
So that's descriptive then. So you're saying God is the way to describe how materials interact with one another in a reliable fashion. Where does the omnipotence, omnipresence, and omnibenevolence come in then? Like, how do you get those properties out of you know, understanding and watching and observing how material interacts?
Yeah, so with, you know, all the laws of physics, as we know enough conditions of any starting point with, you know, proper modeling, we can see the causation forward from that. And
that's always good?
The premise.
Like,
right, yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree.
So us dying is good, and natural disasters are good, and
here's the thing. I'm really trying not to jump in here, but it all seems very incoherent to me from the very beginning. I just want to ask a series of quick questions, Eric. So, do you agree that God is an actual entity which is omnipresent and eternal, which existed when the reality that we are in, or the universe, or this world, whatever you want to call it, did not exist?
Yeah. Yes.
So yes. Okay. So God did exist when none of this existed. So, and God did then create the world that you are in right now. He produced this world, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we got that. Because I didn't get that before, and I think nobody actually really got that because it was all a little bit mixed up. But you're also saying that God is outside of this world and also within this world. And you're saying that there was no such thing as time before the world that you are in came into existence.
The world coming into existence being the universe, or the reality as we know it, not so much, not the Earth specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you say that that God existed prior to the existence of this world, and He brought this world into existence, then you have to accept that there was a before the creation of this world, a before in which God existed alone and this world did not exist. Even if you want to say that time as you see it and perceive it does not apply to that time, that's not entirely coherent. Technically, it is still it is a sequence of things. Something does not exist and then comes into existence. But God was always there. So there was a time before it came into existence. Shannon, that's what you asked at the very beginning, right?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead with that?
Yeah. So so we've established that this God is eternal. Like, was this God like always around? Like, is this God the constant? Like, even if existing reality as we know it doesn't exist, this God did. So this God is some sort of eternal being.
Yeah, I mean, when we use the word like being, I feel like it kind of muddies the waters because we see
entity,
human beings, we see like entity. I mean, I feel like saying it's a unifying principle makes the most sense to me as far as it keeps it more as.
So how did you get there though? So this is now I understand I think I understand your definitions better. I think that AP did a good job of nailing it down so that I could get it.
I appreciate that actually. I like it. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So now that we know a little bit about what you actually believe, I'm curious how you got there. Did you just look at the fact that we can understand how material objects, interact with each other and think, okay, well, therefore that leads me to an omnipresent, eternal entity that's omniscient and omnibenevolent? Because that like there's a disconnect there for me. Just saying, we understand how physical properties interact and we can kind of write that out and predict it doesn't get me to where you are.
Right. I mean, we have physics, we have theoretical physics, and we have speculative physics, and they're all within within the bounds of how much energy we can input into some kind of probe or experiment to test the result, and that output is within.
But therefore, God though is what like you said. Even if I agree with everything that you're saying right now, I can't get to therefore God with this specific set of properties.
No, I hear you completely, and so there's three main pathways that I've taken on this to kind of come to this.
Let's focus on one because we have to take another call soon because we've been on for a while. So let's give me one pathway and then we'll have to move on, and then you can call back with the other three.
Yeah, I think one of the more powerful ones is lucid dreaming. I did a practice of lucid dreaming for over 2 years. I mean, this is an experience that anyone can practice, that can do
you think that
and achieve.
So how does that get you to, I don't know that that's even an answer to my question, which is how does observing, how does understanding and observing physics get you to God? And your answer to that is, well, I did lucid dreaming. It's like, you know that lucid dreaming doesn't have any, inherent truth content in it, right? There's no inherent truth content. It's your brain doing weird stuff because you're inducing a state that it wouldn't otherwise be in. It's creating illusory models, like either visually or in an auditory illusory models that you're having as misperceptions. Right. I mean, I wouldn't want to base my entire life system on self-induced misperceptions. That seems odd.
So to be fair, you asked me for one pathway.
Okay.
You asked me for one pathway. So I gave you the one pathway, and it sounds like we don't have enough time. I'd like to.
We don't have enough time. Call back with your other two pathways.
I would love to call back.
Yes, please do. We appreciate the conversation, Eric. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric. Bye.
You too.
That was fascinating. I did not see that one coming. Lucid dreaming was not. Yeah, I did not have that on my bingo card for what was going to happen next.
I'm a little bit surprised. I'm shaken. Where's the connection?
Take some time to process it. Maybe we'll.
Where is the?
I had a lucid dream tonight, and it'll all make sense to you.
I had the most hardcore lucid dreaming when I was completely restless and sleepless. I didn't sleep for 2 days, and then there was a time that I had these repeated lucid dreams. And it just felt completely messed up. But I still can't make the connection. What is? How does that connect to the reality of?
I don't think it does, but go ahead. Tag your head.
Yeah, well, that was very unfortunate, but I appreciate the call.
Good conversation, though.
Yeah, of course.